Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new Ninjago video here on the channel. My name is TannerFishies. In today's video, we are going to be discussing the Forbidden 5 as seen in Ninjago Dragons Rising Season 3 Part 1 and how exactly their storyline ended. Will we see more of the Forbidden 5 at a later date, or is this it for the Forbidden 5? We will be discussing all of that in today's video. But obviously with that in mind, this video will contain spoilers for Dragons Rising Season 3. Keep that in mind, spoilers are ahead. You have been warned. So naturally, before we start, I think it is very important to establish what exactly happened to the Forbidden 5. So essentially from what we've seen from Dragons Rising Season 3, after the Forbidden 5 successfully freed Thunderfang, Thunderfang immediately decided to betray the Five to the surprise of no one. Like I said in my review, it was fairly obvious that that's where the storyline was going. Thunderfang did absorb the souls of the Forbidden 5 like he would any of the other characters that he consumed. We saw that with Lloyd. Apparently he did this to several Oni as well during the Oni and Dragon War. But all things considered, Thunderfang did absorb the souls of the Five, leaving them dead. They died here, just like how Lloyd died when his soul was removed, and all of the other souls came from people that are now dead. So the Forbidden 5 are officially dead here. By the way, Rox without her mask looks interesting. Pretty much like I expected her to look with the fangs and whatnot. Just kind of a little side note there. Then, later on, after Thunderfang is defeated, thanks to the elixir that Aaron utilized that actually helps the souls move on. As you can see, we have a bunch of souls here. Just a bunch of souls overall, including 5 distinct red ones. Now these 5 red souls obviously are the Forbidden 5. That is very, very obvious. It's interesting, though, because they don't really go back or move on like some of the other souls do. Instead, they literally just get absorbed back into Thunderfang for some strange reason. Not sure if the Forbidden 5 decided that they wanted their souls to stay with Thunderfang, but ultimately once Thunderfang moves to the spectral lands at the very end of the season here and absorbs Moro's soul, the Forbidden 5 could still very well be with Thunderfang here. And all things considered, I think they definitely are. Because I feel like it is definitely not the last time that we've seen the Forbidden 5, for a number of reasons. For one, it seems way too early to get rid of these characters. We've spent a long time building up to the Forbidden 5, and a long time getting the entire team freed from Nether Space. It still doesn't seem like a satisfying storyline. If this truly is the end of the Forbidden 5, then I will definitely have some issues with Dragons Rising overall, and how little attention a lot of the Forbidden 5 got. While we understand a lot of the motivation behind Rox and Noct, and even then there's still a lot more that needs to be explained, characters like Drix, Kerr, and Zarkt haven't really had any type of development at all. We really have no idea about their history, what exactly drives them. I feel like a lot of that will be explored in later chapters of Dragons Rising, which is the primary reason why I feel like the Forbidden 5 are definitely not done. Plus, not to mention, we do have some alleged Ninjago Dragons Rising leaks out there for 2026, which do showcase a new minifigure for Rox. Now, those pictures have been around for quite a while as of right now, and I will not be able to show any of the images in today's video because obviously they are leaks. However, I will link the images, as always, down below in the description. Check them out if you would like, but still, the fact that we presumably have Rox coming back in a later season kind of suggests to me that, again, this is not the last that we've seen of the 5. So this is what I think is going to happen. I think Season 3 Part 2 will probably not have any of the Forbidden 5, but will rather have Thunderfang again as the main villain, like he was in Season 3 Part 1. He would be basically in control of the spectral lands, absorbing souls left and right. However, at the very end of the season, Thunderfang could get defeated for good, and the souls that he consumed could once again be free. Again, maybe this is where the Archdragon of Focus comes into play. since we did not see that dragon outside of a flashback in Season 3, Part 1, maybe this dragon will return physically in Part 2 to defeat Thunderfang finally for the second time, thus freeing all of the souls again. Maybe this time the Forbidden Five find a way to weasel out of Thunderfang and return to their bodies that were left soulless at the end of Season 3, Part 1, setting themselves up as the main villains for a Dragon's Rising Season 4. Again, maybe the Five were in control of their souls, maybe Rox was controlling their souls, maybe there's a reason why they decided to seek refuge within Thunderfang, maybe as a way for them to get to the spectral lands, who's to say? So again, like I said, they could be setting themselves up for the main villain role again later on. Probably not Season 3 Part 2, seems a little bit too early, but maybe Season 4. I would love to see the Forbidden Five back in a main villain kind of role. Then again, should they be? For a lot of people, they would say no. I would say yes, they should be, because like I said earlier, there's still a lot of backstory with the Forbidden Five that we have not seen just yet. There's a lot of explanation that is needed, and sure, a lot of that could come from the Shatterspin comic, for example, but if Dragon's Rising the show wants these characters to be as strong as they can be, they will take the time to explain everything about them in the show itself, and honestly, I think they definitely should. Again, the Forbidden Five, I would argue, were not the main villains of Season 3. I would say that honor goes to Thunderfang. The Forbidden Five were kind of like the main lackeys, if you will, of the main villain. Thunderfang will continue to be the main villain in Season 3 Part 2, but Season 4 should be the Forbidden Five. Like I said though, a lot of people would say no, maybe the Forbidden Five should just be done, because I know a lot of people at this point are kind of over it. Season 3 Part 1 did not make the Forbidden Five look very good, all things considered, especially with some members like Zarkt very much being a weakling, all things considered, compared to the rest of the Five. I'd say some of the Forbidden Five definitely proved their strength, some of them definitely did not, and with all of them being defeated by Thunderfang, some Ninjago fans are just kind of over it, like I said, saying that we really don't need to see the Five again, they've had enough of the Forbidden Five, let's move on to something else. I do understand why some folks are saying that, but again, Ninjago has the opportunity to elaborate on these characters, and if they don't, it comes off as strange, all things considered. Why are we not taking the time to establish these primary villains that we've been hearing about for seasons now? Like I said as well, if this truly is the end of the Forbidden Five, I will have some critiques towards Ninjago Dragon's Rising, because I feel like if this truly is the end of the Five, then yeah, these characters just kind of came and went, not really leaving any impact, again, unless your name is Noct or Rox. I feel like the Forbidden Five as a group deserves more than just this end, and I feel like they definitely will have more to do later on in Ninjago Dragon's Rising. But with that being said, everyone, that's going to pretty much wrap it up for my thoughts here on the Forbidden Five and all of the controversy surrounding them following Season 3 actually coming out, or at least Part 1. Leave all of your thoughts down below in the comments. Do you think this is the last that we've seen of the Forbidden Five, or do you think they will be back for, say, Season 4 of Dragon's Rising? Leave all of your thoughts down below. Do you even want the Forbidden Five to come back? Because like I said, people are kind of mixed. Leave all of your thoughts down below, and thank you so much for tuning in. If you guys enjoyed this one, feel free to like and subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and I will talk to you guys again very, very soon. Peace.